Hello everyone, this is Mr. Appel, and today I'm going to teach you about something a little odd. It's the greatest integer function, and you see it's defined here, and it's using this notation. It's the two square brackets. I know we've used that for other things in interval notation, but in a function it means something different. It means for each x, your y value, the way you evaluate this, your y value, is the greatest integer that's less than or equal to that number. The greatest integer, so remember integers, no decimals, no fractions. The greatest integer that's not bigger than that number. So if you were going to make a table of values, for example, if x was 1, the greatest integer that's less than or equal to 1 is 1. But if your x value was, let's say, 1.2, the greatest integer that's less than or equal to 1.2 is still 1. So you're going to have some interesting behavior here. So if your x is 1.9, the greatest integer less than or equal to that is still 1. 1.999, greatest integer less than or equal to that is still 1. But when you get up to 2, now it jumps to 2. So what that's going to look like on a graph is this. So if x is 1, y is 1, so I'm there. And it's just going to stay on 1 until I get to 2. So I'm going to have an open circle on 2, because what happens when x gets to 2? It jumps up to 2. And then the same thing happens when x is 2.2. The greatest integer less than or equal to that is still 2. And so it's going to keep doing that until it gets to 3. Going to have another open circle there, and that's going to continue on. So when x is 3, the greatest integer less than or equal to that is 3. When x is 3.72, the greatest integer less than or equal to 3.72 is 3. So all of my y values are going to be integers by this definition. So graphing f of x equals greatest integer of x is going to look very, very funny. Kind of looks like steps going up a ladder. I'm going to back up a little bit here. When I have 0, same thing happens. You can plug some values in mentally to help you see that this is what the graph's going to look like. But this is something you will see periodically. See, it still works here. The greatest integer, the greatest integer for, let's say, -2.5. So if you're right in the middle here, again, what's the greatest integer less than or equal to -2.5? That's -3, so it still works, so it holds that same pattern. You see how it kind of looks like steps? We actually sometimes call this a step function because the graph looks like stairs, looks like steps going up. So that is the greatest integer function and how it's defined. That's all for now. Good luck.